In this video, we're going to have a little look at the Quarter 19 Rider, and for those that know, it's quite special in a way, obviously being the first one. I've kind of heard it doesn't make the bike handle very well, being kind of new technology, if you like, in 1972 when these bikes come out. But inside, they have a kind of geared mechanism which shifted the weight of the rider like this, and would supposedly steer the bike. I'm not sure many people probably have seen these run, but what we're going to do is we're going to take the rider off and strip her down, and then I want to introduce you to a project I've been working on for quite some time. You always notice every single one I've come across that these bottom bolts, screws under here that fix it to the chassis, always tight. So it's quite a job to get them out. Yeah. Well, here she is. These are the legs, and the boots do disconnect from the legs. And she came with this jacket, although I understand it's of another kind of quarter scale motorbike. It's not the standard I am making, like what I call the jumpsuit, the overalls for these bikes. But that's again another little process. So let's undo her jacket. Again, the arms are detached there. Let's have a quick look at those. They all are one piece. I believe they call this kind of blown plastic. It's a little bit like what the old Barbies and that are made of. Yeah, blown plastic. It's hard plastic. And we're getting down to the mechanism. Let's put these bits to the side. It's not got all the screws in because I've had this apart quite a few times already. So the head just comes off, follow. Again, it's the same type of plastic, a little bit squishy. I think she's great. No denying it's a she. Okay, the mechanism. So that's where it straps down to the chassis there, and then it has this tilted motion, the motor, and then inside here just looks like a two-step or one-step speed controller, which is pretty good. And then these cog arrangements and a little Mabuchi motor. I think I'm saying that right. Mabuchi. So on my bikes, I only have one rider, one mechanism. So about more than a year ago, I started to reproduce this, and I thought I'd do this little video as an intro, really on how far I've got. It's been a long process for a kind of hobbyist like me, challenges along the way, to kind of reproduce some of these parts and build jigs and all sorts, gear cutting. That was interesting, but I made a success of that. And I am a little stuck on these gears. I'll say it again a little later, but yeah, these are module 50 teeth gears, but these two here, they're 50 teeth dual gear. I'll show you in there. Focus. And I believe off memory that is a 12 tooth gear. So you just can't buy 50 tooth module gears with a dual 12 tooth gear on the bottom. They're spur gears, they're called, but I have looked worldwide. So I've actually produced some of these in brass, but would like to get them done as standard. I'm working on that, but I'll show you the rest of the project. So actually, before I kind of show some of the parts I've made, let's have a quick look outline of the instructions and drawing. See the mechanism in here. It bolts down to the chassis through the back seat, and essentially to scale. That's what it looks like inside. Quite good instructions. So once I've got the frame done on this, I've moved on to the gears, working those out. And although those are module gears, these are actually DP gears. This is a 32 tooth DP gear, so that was interesting to figure out. You can see that's the main gear there. I've yet to make a hole and put the just got a little grub screw in there to obviously hold it to the shaft. These are not quite finished pieces, but so that's the main gear there. A smaller gear. Then we got the kind of spacers in the shaft to keep the gears at the right height. There's just a few different ones of those. The main one that sits under the main gear there. Main shaft. I call it the main shaft because it's got the main gear, or that's the driver there, but and then where the grub screws come down and fix on the flats there. And then the module gears. So this is this one on the right. Has the extra bit here. They come out nice, but yeah, it's the main one there. And so far I have 50 tooth blank on that one. I do actually have, I did have to buy the 12 tooth there, and then I will kind of press that in to that one. Again, it's not probably my final solution for these gear cases, but to get a model up and running, a copy, this is what I'm going for. So I cut these myself. Again, 50 tooth there on the mill. That's that one. We have the fixing screws and butterfly nuts there, which were interesting actually. I found that all the new ones now, really, these have the flat edge there, but the originals, these are the originals, they have the round ears. So I really wanted round ears, so I found those finally. And then we get into the plates here. So what I did was I measured and drew these up in Fusion, and I didn't know this, but I was able to send it off to a company, and they were able to cut these blanks. So we've got this part here, this part, it all needs to be bent. This little cross part here, and then finally I've been working on these today, but there's a little one there, and they do have threads, so in my other video I'll be working on these, but I created the 6BA thread in there, the 3mm hole in there, and then bent this little bracket there. Yeah, so that's where I am. It's been a long process. I've like I say, I've been working on this for well over a year. I've got a few people who are interested in one. I'm only making a very, very, very small batch. Won't be in double digits, I can tell you. It's been a very long process. Even expensive just to buy the cutters to do these, and the time it takes. So it'll probably be my first and my last batch, but I'd like to share this video, share the future work on it, because it's quite exciting. It really is pushing my boundaries. It may be quite simple for some as a hobbyist, but it has quite a few parts on it, and I'm working my way through them.